friends, thanks for joining me for Junk Journal January. So I am combining days again. I am combining days 12 and 13 because I have some other videos rolling out this week. I wanted to mention to you that the prompts for this video will be Throwback and Hobbies. Before we get into my process, I want to mention that Junk Journal January is hosted by Meg's Journals, and she is in collaboration with Get Messy Art. I will have their handles listed in my description box. You can simply click on them and it'll take you straight to their channels. I thought it would be a lot of fun to make a black and white spread for the throwback prompt. So that's what I'm doing. I went into my stash and I found this black and sparkly silver scrapbook paper. And then I had harvested a book a while back, and the book was about, I can't remember if it was Jackie Kennedy Onassis, or if it was about the Onassis family. And it might have actually been, it was actually about the Onassis family. And so I had cut out all of the black and white photos that were in that book. So who you see here is a Mr. Onassis, and he was a tycoon, a shipping tycoon, in case you guys didn't know. And the woman with him in the first photo is a famous opera singer, and he had basically a lifelong affair with her, never married her. He ended up marrying Jackie, but that was more of a financial marriage than it was a love marriage. So pictured in the second picture that I added is the famous opera singer also, and her friends, and they're just out on the town having a day of shopping. Their outfits are quite vintage, which I think works perfectly with our throwback theme. I'm going to add a piece of trim to this page, and you see me, I have flipped back to the previous page only because if you look, the paper is torn at the top, and I want to add this piece of trim to the opposite side, but I'm going to have to shape the paper so that it fits the tear. I tore it to the proper shape, then I inked the edges. Now I'm just adding my adhesive, and I'm going to glue that piece of trim on there. Since I'm adding that to what was dyed paper, you know how sometimes when you dye paper, well, not sometimes, usually all the times, the paper takes on a different shape. It ends up being a little bit wrinkly. So in order to get this trim piece to stick really well, I'm lining the page with my clothespins, and that'll stick both papers together. They'll adhere really well. They can just sit there and dry while I add one more trim piece. And this is just for interest to divide the two pictures. In order to make our glamorous spread just a little bit more glamorous, I'm going to go ahead and add stickles. I'm going to use white stickles and silver stickles. I put them on the necklaces, on the shoes, and a few other spots. All right, let's take a look at day 13, and the prompt is hobbies. I enjoyed working with the black and white on the previous spread, and that's not something I usually do, so I decided I would carry that over into our hobbies prompt. So I've started here with a piece of scrap. It's just looks like script basically, definitely in gray and black tones. I have cut a piece out of a vintage magazine, and when I flip it over, you will see that it is about home decorating. And decorating my house is definitely a hobby of mine. I don't put as much time in it now as I used to, but I definitely enjoy doing it. And I think I'd like to focus on doing a little bit more of that this year. I'm going to add this trim piece just to sort of pull the two pages together. I don't know how much of that's going to end up getting covered though. Probably a lot of it, but that's okay. I also had taken a picture out of a National Geographic book, and these people were actually explorers. But as you can see, they are in a tent. So for me, that represents camping because I love to go camping. I'm fortunate enough that I have an Airstream, so I don't have to tent camp anymore. Camping is just, it's so much fun. It's wonderful to be out in nature, so I wanted to represent that in my spread as well. I made a note of hobbies that I enjoy, and it says creating, decorating, camping, and ancestry. And some of you know that I am totally into ancestry, and that's something that I do spend some time doing, and I enjoy it very much. And for me, it's been a great way to learn about history. I really appreciate you being here and spending time with me today. Thanks for watching. See you soon.